Hi everybody. In this video I'm going to talk about how you can create records and insert them in the database. In this case a product. We're going to be creating a product information, product object, and then we're going to record it in the database. As you can see, there's a form. I created this form here. It has some text boxes for each product attribute, which will be connecting to my product database. So each attribute will have a text box here. And then I'm also going to talk about how you can use a file upload control, which we're going to use to upload images for the products. Now these images will not be saved in the database, they will be saved in the server, in the file system. However, their path to these images will be saved in the database, their URL will be saved in the database. And later, when a product table will be populated dynamically with these values that will come from the database, and it will also read the product URL, and based on checking that URL it's gonna create an image object for each product. So what you're gonna need is an admin page with a form, file upload, an image control here to see what we uploaded, and a button to run the code, and then a product page. In the product page I have a table. So the table is already created. We're not going to have to create the table dynamically, but we're going to populate it dynamically. Table only has header currently, and a SQL data source to get the connection string. So you're going to need this connection string to use in your connect the database from code behind. Now let's run and see how this works, and then I'm going to explain the code line by line. So the admin ASPX is my start page. I set that as a start page. To set a page as the start page, you have to right click on it in the File Explorer and click on the set as start page. Now this is my form. I'm gonna create a pancake. It's a pancake, and the product price $8. Let's choose an image using a file uploader. Here's a pancake, and let's create the image. Let's create this product. Now the page was posted back, and the image showed up that we uploaded. An image uploaded to here, and this URL is saved to the database. Now let's go to products page and see what's there. Then I'm going to walk you through the code. As you can see, the products page took this data from the database. It created a table. It even added a image. Let's add one more pancake. Strawberry. This is also pancake. This one is $9. Let's choose another one. Here's the strawberry pancake image. Create. File uploaded. Let's go back to the products page, and you can see we added another pancake. Now let's go back to the code, and I'm going to explain. Now the code starts running as soon as the create button is clicked. When the create button is clicked, first thing we do, we get the user inputs, such as what's the product name, what's the type, product price. Product image URL will come in a little bit after the image is actually posted to the server. Now we have to check if it's a post back, because if it's not a post back, the server will not detect the image. So the user uploads the image in the client, but image is not saved to the server until the page is post back to the server. So once the page is posted back, we're gonna have a flag, a boolean flag file OK, which is gonna be true if the type of the file is acceptable. We have a path value which will save the image to this path, and then we're gonna check if the FileUpload one control has a file. The user actually chose the file and selected it. Then we're gonna look for the file extension and determine if the file is okay to upload or not. So to get the file extension, you need to use system.io path get extension method from the file that is uploaded, and then these are the allowed extensions for this project. You can change for needs of your project. You can add more types. Since we're only uploading images, we're going to be using GIF, PNG, JPEG, and GPG. Now, if any of these is equal to the file extension, file extension one of these, then the file OK will be true, means we have the right extension. And here, if the file is correct type, then we're going to be uploading. We're going to save the file to the path with the file name. Okay, the path that we mentioned here, we're going to save it. So images / pancakechocolate.png, something like that. Okay, that's the file name. Now, I'm just printing the path with the image name here on the label object, and then the image object will actually point to that image. Now, this image is referring to the image here. So as soon as there's an image uploaded, this image will point to there, and it's going to show the image that is uploaded, image that is uploaded. And our product image URL, which we created here, will also be pointing to the same image. Now, at this point, we can start a connection to our SQL database. In order to create the SQL connection, you're going to need the connection string to your database. If you don't know how to get this one, how to create a database and connect to that, check out my previous using the database part 1 video. Just to show you how I got the connection string, you can get it from SQL data source, configure, and if you configured it, here's your connection string. If you don't know how to configure it, as I said, check out my previous video about how to create a database. Now, once you create the connection, then you're going to need a command object to run the query. Okay, the query we're running here is a insert into query. Oh, by the way, before we go there, if you're getting any error message of the SQL connection, it might be because that you need the namespace using system data SQL client. So if it's not here, if you didn't add this one, you're gonna get an error message for your SQL connection object. Going back to the SQL command, with the command object, so here we embed our SQL query. So as soon as the button is clicked, this query will be run, and this is going to be insert query because we are actually inserting a new record to the database. So insert into products. This is the name of our table. These are the attributes we're inserting into: product name, type, price, image URL. Notice that I excluded the product ID because my product ID is actually auto-incremented, so I don't have to add it here. And then the values are going to come from the user input. And now notice that for each non-numeric value, all of them except the price, they are enclosed between single quotes. Okay, that's how it should be in this query string. And I am adding these values that are read from the user input using string concatenation. You see here, and I did it for all of them. The only difference is the product price is not enclosed by single quotations. Okay. Now, once you are done with your query, you can open up the connection and execute the query using the execute non-query method, and then execute the SQL command. And then if there are any problems, you can print it in the label or if the file type is not right, then simply printing an error message, file cannot be uploaded. Now at this point it should create a record in the database, and for debugging purposes you can also right click your connection and click new query and see whether records are created in the database or not. Select all from product. Right, if I run this, now you can see the ones that I created in the on the web browser. So I actually created these pancake products in the database, and you can access them from here. You can also delete them from here. This is for debugging purposes. You can't use that with your application. Your application needs to be able to do those within the web browser. So going back to, and we're pretty much done with the admin.cs here. Now, this created the record. Now we want to read the products. So we're going to go to the products page and the code behind, in the code behind of the products page. With the same connection, this time different query, we're going to read everything about the products from the database. Okay, and then open the connection, and then we're going to have a reader object, SQL data reader, which actually reads the data from SQL query results. And we're going to inside a loop. So this loop will run as many queries, as many rows in the database. Currently we have only 2. For each of them we're going to create a row, and we're going to create 4 table cells. Now notice we're not creating a table because our table already exists. We're only creating rows and cells, and then we're going to add the cells into the row, and then we're going to add the rows to the table. So for each attribute in the product, as you can see, product name, type, price, image URL, we have in cell name, cell type, cell price, and cell image. For each of them we have the text, change the text variables, and we read them from the database. All these keys, by the way, has to match the exact same column name in the database, as you can see. Now once that works out, one different thing though, the cell image will not have a text value in it. Instead it needs to have an image control. It needs to have an image object. So I read the URL for the cell image, and then I create a new image object. Right, this is actually just like dragging and dropping an image object into your table, but it's done dynamically because you want your program to do this automatically for you, since it's reading everything from the database. So I'm creating a new image object, image control, and then I'm pointing the URL of this image object to the URL that we read from the database, which is the URL of the image that is uploaded on the server. And then I'm making the image product's dimensions, width and height 100 pixels. So in case there are different images of a different size, they are not gonna make the table look weird or skewed. And after that, I'm gonna add this image into the cell image. I'm gonna add it through its controls collection. And looking at, you can guess that you can actually add a lot of different things here. You can add text boxes, you can add labels, you can add image, links. So depending on what kind of application you're creating, you can add a lot of different controls into your table cells. After I'm done with the image, I am adding rows. I'm adding my cells to my row, and then at the end I'm adding the row to the table. This will run again until it covers all the entries, all the rows in the database. Currently we have one for chocolate pancake, one for strawberry pancake. And then the connection is closed, and should there be any problems, this you can print it out using the message with the X of the exception object. This will print something out, print a message at the top of the page if there's anything goes wrong. Now going back to the products, and that's pretty much it. That's how you can implement a simple product creation or simple entry. You can create users this way and upload an image, and use that in your project.